A number of years ago, when I was in Rexburg, President and Sister Hinckley were there, and we were having a dinner to express gratitude to people who were supporting the university. And I was seated next to President Hinckley, and we were talking about his schedule and all the talks that he had to prepare. And there was a moment where my hands were just up on the table, and kind of suddenly he just patted my hand. And he said, "David, this is the greatest season in the history of the restored church." David, it wasn't better in the days of Joseph. It wasn't better in the days of Brigham. Never has the church been as well regarded, as well recognized as it is today in all the world. David, never have we had the resources to move this work forward in all the world. David, this is the greatest season in the history of the restored church. And he's right. Think of the things we are blessed to see. I'm old enough to remember when I could not have conceived the thought that we would have missionaries in the Soviet Union. And now we have a temple in Ukraine and missionaries in formerly communist countries. This is the greatest season in the history of the restored church. And we have a particular responsibility in this day. There's not a gracious way to say this. When I was the president of BYU Idaho, every Tuesday we had a devotional, and every single devotional speaker began his or her message with, "You're the finest generation. You have been saved for this day." I've had that up to here. I'm just tired of hearing it. In Arkansas, where I lived for a long time, there's a saying, when you pick up a stick, you get both ends. If they've been saved for this day, it's because they have a lot to do to be ready for that. And we have a lot to do. This is the greatest season in the history of the restored church. The greatest opposition, the greatest opportunities to serve, to bear testimony, to minister, and to succor. Wherever you may be, anywhere in the world, I love you. I invoke this blessing upon you, that in your desire to serve, you'll be magnified and enlarged. It will bless your individual life, your family, and those whom you serve, now and forever.
You were sent to earth at this precise time, the most crucial time in the history of the world, to help gather Israel. There is nothing happening on this earth right now that is more important than that. This gathering should mean everything to you. This is the mission for which you were sent to earth.